I'm in at night. Let's spark a light and see where it leads. Just you and me, hiding behind.
The school bell rang, signaling the end of another long day at school. Jungkook passed through the crowded hallway and finally came outside, his backpack slung casually over one shoulder. As he passed the quiet corner, his feet stopped when his eyes fell on you, who was sitting on a bench while your face buried in a book. Curiosity burned inside him. He felt an urge to tease you because it's been more than a month since you transferred in this school, but no one has heard your voice. Hey Ryan, he said, sidling up to your bench, a mischievous grin tugging at the corner of his lips. You didn't answer and ignored him completely, so he leaned in close to whisper in your ear, "Why so quiet? Cat got your tongue?" You glanced up from your book, your expressions unreadable, while he was expecting a sharp look. You looked away, surprising him, and he felt ignored and useless. Your silence was working like a shield against his taunts. He couldn't resist the urge to provoke you, because how come you are just silent while he's teasing you? He was determined to hear you today, so he decided to tease you until you give up. I heard you are the new statue in town, silent and stone cold. Are you auditioning for a role in a mime show or something? Your eyes flicker with annoyance. You really hate his personality, as he is so irritating and always bully you for no reason. But you remain composed, refusing to give Jungkook the satisfaction of a reaction. You simply turn the page of your book, your silence a barrier against his relentless teasing. Come on, Ryan. Cat caught your tongue, or are you just too scared to speak up for yourself? He said sarcastically, and this time your jaws tensed slightly because he was going too far. You closed your book and got up ready to leave, but he grabbed your hand, which you quickly released from his grip. Show this attitude to someone else, not me, okay? And remember, silence speaks louder than words, and right now you are screaming loud and clear. You walked away while he scoffed, resting his hands on each side of his waist. I will make you open that pretty mouth of yours soon. He once again shouldered his bag and walked away. The next day, Jungkook was in the cafeteria having his lunch with his other friends as usual. You don't come here because when you came in this school, you also joined everyone in the cafeteria during lunch, but students here don't match your vibes. They are more rude and self-centered. So you eat in the garden or playground, all alone, which you don't mind because you like your own company. While everyone was having their lunch, Jungkook overheard some of his classmates gossiping about you and making fun of you. I can't believe she still hasn't spoken a word. All the other girls started laughing and agreeing with her. Yeah, she's like a ghost or something. It's kind of creepy, don't you think? Jungkook's stomach churned at those cruel remarks they were directing on you. It's true that he teases you and bullies you a little, but he never really talks behind your back or thinks bad of you. He was not understanding why this is happening, but he was feeling like someone is making fun of someone related to him. He was feeling hurt. He didn't able to control himself and came near those girls. Hey, cut it out. Can't you see you are being ridiculous? Those girls looked at him surprised. Just because she is different from you doesn't take interest in gossiping about others. You have no right to make fun of her. They all gave him weird looks. Why are you acting like you care? Don't you bully her? You do it, then it's okay, and we are just talking about her and you are thinking of himself as a saint? She spit the facts, but Jungkook got more angry. He came closer to her, shooting death glare. Better you focus on your grace rather than focusing on why is someone quiet. He walked away from there, leaving an awkward silence behind. After storming out from the cafeteria, Jungkook made his way towards the playground through corridor when he stopped after he noticed you talking with the principal. But there was something unusual. He noticed that the principal and you were conversing in animated sign language. Your hands were moving gracefully as you communicate your thoughts. A flicker of confusion passed through his face as he was not understanding why you were talking in sign language until he realized that the girl he always assumed was silent and mysterious is actually mute. A feeling of guilt rushed inside him. You weren't choosing to remain silent, you can't speak at all. The weight of his assumptions and past actions crashed down on him with full force. He started to feel guilty and regretting his actions towards you. You finally bid goodbye to the principal and turned to leave when you saw Jungkook standing in the corridor. You were about to leave when he rushed near you and stopped you calling your name. Ryan, please listen to me for a second. You stopped and turned towards him. He looked guilty for his actions and you could see that in his eyes. I don't know. His voice was heavy with emotions. I'm sorry, I had no idea. You looked at him for a minute and then nodded understandingly. He looked at you and again spoke before gulping. Ryan, can we start over? You knew he was genuine, just like other kids of the school. He also found it weird that why don't you talk and that's why he teases you, but at least you could see guilt on his face after finding out the truth. I promise this time I won't ruin it. You smiled just a little bit. It was barely visible and walked away from there, leaving him standing alone. How can I do that to her? I was a stupid and now I have to win her friendship and trust. You are stupid, Jungkook. He cursed himself and walked away from there. Jungkook came to the library after looking for you in the school garden and playground where you usually spend your time, but he found you in the library, engrossed in a book. He took a deep breath to calm his nervousness. He was unsure why he's so nervous approaching you now, but he brushed off all the thoughts and made his way towards you. Hey Ryan, I want to talk to you. You glanced up from your book. You kind of feel surprised as he was attempting to talk in sign language. You raised an eyebrow, signing him to continue. I'm sorry. Jungkook signed, his movements awkward but earnest. I didn't know you couldn't speak. I want to be your friend. A small smile appeared on your face as you saw his efforts to earn your forgiveness. You were touched by his sincerity. You nodded, your own hands formed in graceful gestures in response. Thank you. A smile appeared on Jungkook's face. He never thought you will give him any attention. Encouraged by your response, he continued. His hands moved with growing confidence as he was trying his best to do it right. He has a cousin who was also mute and deaf, so he learned a little when he was a kid. I want to learn sign language, he signed, so we can talk and be friends. Your smile widened, a warmth spreading through you as you realized the depth of his commitment. You nodded, making him finally smile in relief. He was so happy to spread that smile on your face. He wanted to protect you. He wants to embrace you. He wanted to do anything to see you smiling like this. As days passed, you both became good friends. Other students, especially girls, were surprised to see the closeness between you and Jungkook that was growing each and every day. Jungkook was really helping you to come out of your insecurities and live your life. You both text each other when you are at home or away from each other, but when together he always speaks in sign language and you were helping him. Doing this, you guys were coming closer to each other, which with each passing day. He became your safe and comfort zone, and now that relationship completely changed. Now he was the most caring and adorable guy in your eyes, and he earned all this by proving himself. During a free period, Jungkook brought you at the school rooftop because this was the most quiet place at this moment and no one can disturb you. He noticed how you were looking down towards the students who were playing in the playground. What books do you like? He signed, his hands a little shaky with nervousness. Your eyes sparkled as you love when someone talk about books, although you can hear what he says, but you like it more when he talk to you in sign language. The night circus. Your hands moved gracefully through the air as you started to take an attempt to draw images of the magical world within its pages. It's about a mysterious circus that arrives without warning. You signed, your fingers waving intricate pattern as you spoke, but it's not just any circus. It is filled with enchanting attractions and breathtaking performances. Jungkook watched you in awe as your hands danced through the air, your excitement communicable. Wow, that sounds amazing. What happened next? He signed, his eyes wide with wonder. You smiled, you were so happy in this moment and started telling him the story with hand gesture, and Jungkook was falling more and more for you. As the story unfolds, you get swept up in a whirlwind of magic and mystery. You signed, your eyes shining with excitement. It's a tale of love, sacrifice, and the power of imagination. Jungkook listened intently, hanging on your every word as you brought the story to life before his eyes. He found himself captivated by your passion for storytelling, drawn into the world of the night circus. You are amazing, Ryan. Seriously, I have no words to describe how much I have drawn to your kindness and innocence. You passed him a warm and soft smile. Jungkook watched you, his heart swelling with admiration for the passion and intelligence that radiate from you. With every gesture you made, he knew then, in that moment, that he couldn't keep his feelings hidden any longer. He gathered his courage, and with trembling hands he began to sign his confession. Ryan, I have something to tell you. He gestured, his movements slow and deliberate. You turned towards him, curiosity flickered in your eyes as you wait for him to continue. His heart was pounding so fast, but he refused to step back now. He began to sign with his hands. I know we have only known each other for a short time, but I feel like I have known you forever. You are unlike anyone I have ever met. Your heart skipped a beat. You were feeling the same lately, but you were not sure what's that. You thought maybe it was happening because no one ever been so nice to you like Jungkook, but now you know why exactly you were feeling that. Because just like him, you were also falling for him and you are not ashamed about it. You are kind and funny and so incredibly smart. Jungkook continued, his hands expressing his emotions as best they could. And I can't stop thinking about you. You have become so important to me. Your eyes widened in surprise, your heart skipping a beat at Jungkook's heartfelt signs. You reached out to take his hands in yours, your touch sending a jolt of electricity through him. Jungkook, you signed back, your fingers tracing the word with tenderness. I feel the same. You have become so important to me too. Jungkook felt like he got the world. His heart soared at your confession. He felt so relieved and hugged you while you smiled and hugged him back. This is the best thing ever happened to me. Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting my love. I love you. You pulled back and smiled. You and Jungkook came down from the rooftop, and when the other students saw you together, they got a chance to talk about you once again. But you both didn't pay attention to them and walked towards the classroom, leaving them behind talking about you. Did you see how they both are so close these days? I think there's something going on between them. They were together at the rooftop. I'm sure something must have happened. Didn't you see how quiet Vine used to be in the starting? Now look at her confidence. It's all because of Jungkook. But we should not interfere in their lives. She's happy, so let her. We should feel guilty for making fun of her. She can't speak, and we thought she's just too egoistic. They got agreed. But I'm telling you, we'll soon hear that they are in a relationship. Can't you see how Jungkook is everywhere now? He makes her laugh. She only talks to him, and also they are kind of close now. Even if it's true, we shouldn't bother. We should be happy for them. She smiled and walked towards the classroom, leaving her friends looking at each other. After school, Jungkook and you were going home. Actually, he always makes sure to safely accompany you to your house and then leave for his. How is your cousin doing? You signed, your hands expressing your genuine worry. You wanted to know where she is and how she is doing. You could see a sadness appearing on his face as he doesn't look happy hearing about his cousin. She's not doing well. There was pain in his voice. Your brows furrowed in confusion. You started to get worried. What happened? You signed, your hands were trembling slightly. Jungkook took a deep breath, steeling himself for the difficult conversation ahead. She took her own life. He signed, his hands fluttering slightly as he conveyed the heartbreaking truth. Your eyes widened in shock, your heart breaking for Jungkook and his cousin. I'm so sorry. You signed, your words heavy with sorrow. He nodded, his eyes glazed with unshed tears. It's because of the way people treated her. He signed, his hands trembling with emotions. They didn't understand her, didn't treat her with kindness and respect. A heavy silence settled between you as you absorbed Jungkook's words, your heart heavy with the weight of his pain. You reached out to take his hand in yours, offering him silent comfort and support. She felt so alone, like no one understood her, and it was just too much for her to bear. He was feeling the weight of guilt because he treated you a bit badly before knowing about your disability. And I feel guilty for treating you roughly earlier. Ryan, forgive me, I was thoughtless and cruel. I won't be able to forgive myself for that. Your expression softened, a flicker of understanding shining in your eyes as you watched Jungkook's heartfelt apology. It's okay, you didn't know. You signed with your hands, letting him know that he already improved himself and you don't even remember all that. But Jungkook shook his head, his guilt gnawing at him. No, it's not okay, I hurt you, and I can't take it back, but I want to make it right. I want to be better for you. You smiled and squeezed his hand gently. You already are. You signed. Your words are balm to his wounded soul. You already did so much for me, and I'm happy that you are with me. It's all that matters to me now. Jungkook felt like a weight lifting off his shoulder. He smiled. Thank you, and I will always be with you, I promise. You smiled, and then you both again started walking hands in hand.